Okay, it is coronavirus day 403. And we are getting nothing but have increased cases, high cases, and 4,447. So we have a Toronto, Peel Region, and York Region, and high risk, really high risk areas with Toronto in the lead. As usual, 1,299. Really high cases from Toronto, 926 for high cases from Peel Region, 577 high cases from York Region, 233 from Ottawa, 227 from Hamilton, 205 from Durham Region, and 203 from Niagara Region. So all other regions reported under 200 high cases. 19 deaths have been reported. So the vaccination. I just talked to my doctor today, and from Toronto General, and apparently on the news it said that in Ontario and Alberta, the vaccination eligibility is from is now 40 and up. So if you are 40 years and up, so yeah, I will provide that information down below. And also we gotta look at variant cases. So variant cases are like it's also a high increase, 2,000 plus again. So 36,579 UK variants exist right now, which is a plus 2,467. 104 South African variants, which is same, unchanged, and 211 Brazilian variants, which is the plus 4. So yeah. So the book vax. So if you are 40 years or above, you can book your vaccinations now. And I was told by my doctor, if you have a special, if you're a special needs person, they will do you first. So you can go to www.bookvaccine, ontario.ca/bookvaccine, or if you want to call the toll-free number, it is 1-888-999-6488. So, Ontario closed its borders today, this morning, today, as it looks to slow the spread of coronavirus entering the province. So, smart move. That was a smart move. So, police in Ottawa police set up a 24/7 checkpoint at the city's numerous interprovincial crossings at the river in, into Gatineau, Quebec. So, and also Ottawa Hull. So also officers are stationed on the Ontario side of the Champlain Portage, Chaudrier, and McDonald Cartier bridges with the present at the Alexander Bridge as well to check pedestrians and cyclists that they are only going traveling across the border for provincial border for essential needs. The Huron and Bourbonnais ferries will also be monitored during so Ottawa Police Services officers are taking the lead in Ottawa with support from Ontario Provincial Police. Provincial police are in charge of monitoring the Manitoba border and the 401 and Highway 401 and the Autoroute 20. The part in with the 401 into the switch chain as soon as it switches to Quebec into Quebec at Autoroute 20. So police are monitoring. So when a person approaches the checkpoint from either the Quebec or Manitoba side, they could be stopped and questioned by police about the reason for entering Ontario. So if denied, a motorist could be directed to turn back to where they back. The Ottawa police said in the first 24 to 72 hours of the policy, officers will be focused on education and awareness, and members of the public are asked to wear a mask when interacting with police. So if you were trying to cross over the border for essential reasons, please keep your mask on at all times when talking to the police officers. So individuals that stopped at the border will not be required. So provincial border restrictions. This is some reason. This is all the reasons you are allowed to cross the border for provincial border for. Your principal residence is in Ontario. You work in Ontario. You're transporting goods into Ontario as part of a business, like maybe like truckers or or maybe other people. You're exercising an Aboriginal treaty right. So if you're a native, you're definitely allowed. So if you require healthcare or social services, you're picking up a patient who will receive care in Manitoba or Quebec. You're in the care of the Children's Aid Society. You're entering the province to exercise custody rights. You're complying with a court decision. You're responding to a critical incident, which includes preventing injury or illness, preventing property damage, or performing an otherwise necessary action like you have a humanitarian or compassionate reason, which includes providing care, attending a person who is dying, or a funeral. So maybe your family member dying at a funeral, though you can't, So you can go and or you're visiting a long term, or maybe you're like a doctor or a nurse. That is also another reason why you will be allowed. So commercial vehicles such as transport trucks will be allowed to pass. Vehicles with Ontario license plates will be stopped at checkpoint, but also allowed to proceed. So yeah. So those arriving in Ontario via by plane, by interprovincial or maybe going through by via rail, or maybe buses like Greyhound, or like Coach Canada, or other bus services that do interprovincial. So they will also be allowed to enter. So they're permitted. So the Quebec government said it will bar any travelers from Ontario, except if they are having a primary residence in the province, or secondary residence having requiring maintenance. So maybe they have a second home in Quebec, in the province, or their first home is in Quebec and they need me. So they're allowed. So humanitarian purposes, obtaining health care. Workers study, so basically education, or or basically if you're working, yeah. So that complying with the court order, being a federal public servant whose work requires travel and to Quebec, ensuring transport of goods in Quebec, and also traveling through the province as part of an interprovincial international trip. So maybe you have, so I know that sometimes international flights or provincial flights where if you have to go to a certain place, but but sometimes these flights require you to stop at a certain airport in a certain city, in an airport in a certain province or state, and then you go to that airport to your final destination. So that is allowed. So the Quebec government also said in a release that those returning their private residences from Ontario must quarantine themselves for 2 weeks. And exemption to this isolation order include providing care, working or studying in the province, complying with the court, or humanitarian reasons. So people crossing the province or transporting goods are not allowed into Quebec, are not allowed to make unnecessary stops or dine at a restaurant. So some reasons could be, two reasons could be maybe need to gas up their vehicle, and also if they're at a service station, they need to eat, and they're hungry, that's allowed. And also Quebec police are also set up on their side of their Ontario-Quebec border to ensure the compliance with these orders too. So guess who's working with the OPP? Yep. So there's that. So don't forget, and also don't forget, outdoor gatherings are limited to individual households only. There are police monitoring, non making sure like there's no non-essential travel between provinces, between Ontario Quebec border and Ontario Manitoba border, with the Ontario Quebec police working together to make sure people aren't doing that, and also golf courses are closed. Retail store capacity is closed. Is narrowed down a bit more, even more. Shutter. Non-essential construction is they're like canceling that. And social distancing at playgrounds is mandatory and masks on. And also today, weddings, religious gatherings, and funerals are limited to 10 people maximum. That there will be of course, don't forget there will be checkpoints at the Ottawa Hull, Ottawa Gatineau, and certain bridges going in Quebec. And also provincial police OPP monitoring deterring. The Ontario Manitoba border. Yep. So and police can only stop people who they have to believe are participating in an organized public event or social gathering. So that rule the Ford government made on Friday, that has been canceled, and of course all police departments have went against them. So all the way from north to the south, or north to the south, then the west to the east. So stay-at-home rule order is they finally gave us the date. It's ends May 20th. So there's that. Go out for work, school, shopping for groceries, pick up medication, accessing healthcare, exercising, and non-essential businesses can only do curbside pickup, and big box stores will only have aisles open with essential products only. So there has been the images uploaded on the web with Walmart and Costco like literally barricading their certain sections, either with pallets or they just covered it up with with essential and with toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and also wipes. So the cases are getting worse. So don't make the same. Due to anti-lockdown people, so don't make the same mistakes that people in Peterborough and Cobourg did. So anyone who fails to comply to fellow regulations will be fined $880 each. Your rights are more important than the rest of us kind of lower coronavirus cases. And since some rules have been eased, there should be no reason you should be acting like that way. So the lockdown ends this week, April 23rd. Friday is the last day. So once that's over, the lockdown rules do not. We got one less thing to deal with. So hospitalizations. Why? So another record of 2,202 people hospitalized with coronavirus, which is a plus 95, a new record, and 755 patients, and also a new ICU patient record, plus 14, and 516 patients in ICU using a ventilator, plus 10. Okay, so long-term care home deaths is decreased to 3,750, which is literally plus 5, minus 5, so that's good. 40 outbreaks are going on right now, so that's okay, that's good. So please follow coronavirus safety rules and regulations, lockdown regulations, and stay-at-home rules. Don't have any gatherings. If we continue to help lower cases, we'll see better days. Stay safe.